Hi there, you can call me or Cat if you want. Sorry if the audio is a bit weird. I don't really have professional equipment, so it isn't going to sound as good as it could. So, this video is actually for a science project I have where we are making an analogy between the Earth and something else. Pretty much anything can go as long as it makes sense. Peach, jawbreaker, mango, those are all options I heard. I even heard someone choose a chicken, a live chicken, which is kind of funny since it's a bit of foreshadowing for my choice. Anyways, this project made me kind of happy and giddy because my association with the Earth layers is on my favorite show as a child, Dinosaur Train. Specifically, a 53-minute long edition called Dinosaur Train was at the center of the Earth. So I wanted this to be extra creative and relatable to commemorate this. And well, what's more relatable than your own body? So today, here's a short video explaining the connections between your beautiful body and the beauty that is the Earth that we call our home. So first of all, the uppermost layer and setting in the show is the crust. The crust is a thin layer in comparison to the rest of the Earth at the very top, where we all live on. This is not the atmosphere, it's the floor and ground with mountains and lakes and oceans and other various landforms. While our body may not have an entire ocean on it just hanging around on top of you, it does have the skin, which covers pretty much everything else. The skin covers the entirety of your body, which is actually unlike the Earth. More on that later. But they're both the top layer with tons of natural bumps, and the scarring on your body is kind of like the erosion that happens on the Earth. And you can make an argument that the hairs on your body are somewhat similar to trees. Tall-ish organic materials that root into the surface and come in various unique forms. Of course, they serve completely different purposes. Hair keeps you warm and keeps dirt away, and tree supplies with oxygen and takes CO2. But it's worth noting. And you might say, well, the Earth has us and animals on it, and the body doesn't. But man actually kind of has its own thing. All over your body are bacteria and, of course, your own cells. The bacteria is, for the most part, completely harmless, by the way, who live rent-free, so you're kind of an ecosystem, just like the Earth. It's just that we are a micro ecosystem and the Earth is a macro ecosystem. And pimples, it's kind of hard to think of, but they're very similar parallels to volcanoes, also on the Earth. Pimples/acne are basically made when, upon irritation of the skin of various kinds, white blood cells pile up in your pores, making a bump or mound-like shape on your skin where, upon popping it, it erupts just like a volcano. Which brings us to the next layer, the mantle. The mantle is liquid, a gigantic pool of lava where all lava comes from. There's two things I'm likening the mantle to. The first being your blood. Remember what I said about pimples and how they're made from white blood cells? Well, that's like volcanoes, which are holes, like your pores, that bring lava up to the surface. And if we liken blood to the mantle, then pimples do the exact same job, connecting the second layer to the first. Also, the mantle is liquid, and so is blood. But blood is mostly in your veins, which there are a lot of, but not quite as large as the mantle, comparing 10% of an adult's body being blood to about 60 to 70% of the Earth being mantle. Thus comes our second comparison, being your muscles. Muscles are the next layer right underneath your skin, making up a not quite as large but much closer comparison of 40%-ish of your body. They aren't liquid, but they're yet another large second layer. Not quite as many comparisons as blood, but it's still worth noting. Yeah, we also don't have liquid flame and lava inside of our body, even if we do have plenty of thermal energy like everything else, and we can keep our body nice and warm. We can regulate our temperature. Finally, at the center of the Earth is its core, a solid and also flaming hot center. In this analogy, I'm likening it to the heart since it's better for wordplay, but the brain is an equally good comparison for the same reasons as the heart. Both the heart and the core are solid centers connecting to the mantle. The heart pumps blood through our veins and the core is right underneath the mantle. Also, they're both very close to the center. Core is exact center, whereas heart is a bit further up since there isn't an exact center of your body, and neither the earth nor the body can live without their heart and core. The heart is essential for keeping blood flowing throughout our body, which keeps us alive. And the core is the gravitational center of the earth, meaning that should the core be gone, the earth would not have the gravity to keep itself in one piece. The most obvious differences is obviously the temperature, the core 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit, the size, and exact materials. The core is, of course, made of various rocks and minerals, like the rest of the earth, and our heart is made from cells. Of course, there are extra details, as always, such as we don't orbit anything, unlike the earth, but we do have the capacity to move on our own. We aren't a sphere, unlike the earth, obviously. We are far smaller and less hot, as mentioned previously. There is nothing orbiting us. We don't have any natural satellites like the moon. We have the capacity to invent and make choices. That's what makes us progress as a civilization. We have a lifespan of 70 to 80 years with a record of, I think it's 123, a bit more than 120. And the Earth is 4 billion years old. Our layers aren't as distinct as those of the Earth. We have much more complex anatomy, which allows us to do stuff like make videos like this. And even though I don't understand very much, I've managed to get this much, so there must be plenty more. And that's everything I have to say for now. Thanks for watching. I had a lot of fun writing and making this. And if you couldn't tell, we are actually currently in the mysterious land of Dinosaur Train's ending note. I took some inspiration from Dr. Scott here. He's super cool, and I would recommend watching Dinosaur Train if you can. It's very educational and fun, even if it's a kid's show. Thank you for hearing me out. Bye-bye!